and drive. In the eRank scene, this place feels alive. Help and sellers shine, reaching new heights. Join the team where the future ignites. Sellers in control, watch their sales grow. Empowered to win with eRank we flow.
Hello, eRank. Yeah, welcome. It's
Hey, everybody.
Thursday. Yeah, for some reason it's Thursday again, so that means we're another live Q&A. So if you have any Etsy or eRank related questions, then get them in the chat, and hopefully we'll get
I'm
to them
Brian.
all.
This is Pam, and we are here to help you.
Yes, the introductions. I always forget you might not know who we are and everything. Yes. Because hopefully in fact, we never do this. If you're new here, stick a new here. And if you're not new, which I was going to say old, but that's rude, regular or...
If you're a normie.
Normie, there we go. Normie's good. So new or normie, and let us know. And you can let us know where you're from, because it's kind of cool to travel the world in the comments.
And we don't have many questions today in the Facebook group, so pop your questions in. That way we have something to talk about. Otherwise, we're going to talk about the most random things you could think about.
Yep.
And while some of you might like that, that's not as helpful.
Oh, Amanda, yeah, you would think we'd be able to do this social media stuff. OG. Yeah, could have done that.
I actually saw the OG in concert a couple years ago. Ice-T.
All right.
The original gangsta.
Excellent. Right. Well, while we're waiting
From
for
all over the world, look at this.
Yeah. Anthony did want us to mention a couple of things, and one of them is terrifying for those that haven't figured it out. Do you know it's 99 days till Black Friday?
That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
That
For people who aren't in North America, or I think the UK is now doing more of it, Black Friday is the busiest shopping day of the year. That whole weekend right through Cyber Monday is, whether you are having a sale or not having a sale, it is the biggest shopping time. So make sure that your listings are up, that your listings are perfect, searchable, all that stuff. You want to get your stuff up 60 to 90 days before the big holiday. So start working.
Yep. And it's not just Black Friday. Like Black Friday was supposed to be the sort of bricks and mortar day where people went into the shops. And you have then the Monday after was known as Cyber Monday. And there's the Tuesday, Small Business Tuesday, or am I making that up?
Small Business Saturday.
That's it. That makes more sense than Tuesday. Yep. So that whole weekend can be busy, and people, to be perfectly honest, people hold off their shopping until the Black Friday sales start. So even if you're not having a sale, people get to that point and they're like, I have a wallet full of money and I'm just going to spend it. So
sometimes there is a little lull going into it for like a week before, because people they're waiting for those deals. They know the sales are coming, and then then be ready to don't be scared to use vacation mode. I know that we're going to talk about this like in the future, in the coming months, but do not be afraid to put yourself in vacation mode if you're selling more than what you think you can handle, because you still want to get things to people in time for the holidays. So
yep, I've had some good years where I don't do a sale, but I've had some good years where I've shut my shop for the year. I've put it on vacation before Black Friday. It's just too much. But there's other bad years where you're squeezing out. You're going like, what's the last shipping date before Christmas? Can I get this out? But Michaela has asked how to ask questions. You just did.
Type them right there.
Yep. We'll try and get to as many people as we can. We are only human, and I'm absolutely rubbish at reading and speaking at the same time. So we might miss you, but we'll try and get to everybody.
One more note about Black Friday. This year is actually slightly different than other years in that Hanukkah actually falls on December 25th this year. Usually it falls in around Black Friday or it's early December. That means that there's going to also be a lot of Hanukkah shopping on Black Friday because it's not too late this year. It's usually Hanukkah is within a couple of days of Black Friday, so it's nobody's buying during Black Friday for Hanukkah. Now they will be. So if you have any Judaica or Hanukkah items, get them up for Black Friday too, because it's going to be a frenzy.
Yeah. Okay, and the other subject that Anthony wanted us to talk about, so we'll dump this down before we hit questions. Is anyone selling or planning to sell on Facebook Marketplace? And have they used that option in our keyword tool or in the trend buzz? Just let us know a little about that. That's hopefully something I think we're all wanting to learn a little bit more about. So if anyone does it, let us know if it's working.
And that's more for
you.
people that are selling like their regular products or like actually selling on Facebook Marketplace. Not, oh, I have this spare thing, and you're trying to sell the one thing. It's more if you're trying to turn it into a business, then that's who we want to hear from.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think like a few years ago when we were talking about Facebook Marketplace, I was like, no, well, that's just old eBay. You're selling stuff rather because you can't be bothered driving it to the tip or something. But people do seem to be starting to make a business there. So cool. So yes,
And if you're selling anywhere else, also let us know. Post either in the comments or in the Facebook group. If you're selling on TikTok Shop, Shopify, eBay, let us know everywhere you shop, because we might be able to help you. We have a lot of in the Trend Buzz tool, there's a lot of different marketplaces, and we need to know where you people sell to know what we need to look into adding.
Yeah, TikTok keeps on telling me I should open a shop now. It's like, you've posted a couple of videos, people notice you. I maybe should, just to see what it's about, but I'm a bit nervous to do it.
Apparently it's really good, and you're really good on camera, so it's right up your alley. So that might be a good idea, just to see what happens.
That's true, just to see what's going on. Anyway, right, let's dive into the chat, and then we'll catch up if you're letting us know about Facebook or anything. But Kelly has asked, what's considered a good visibility score for an item?
100%.
Stop it.
Anything above 50% fine, but visibility score doesn't necessarily mean your item's getting seen or it's not getting seen. It's just a comparison to other listings. Give a definition.
Thank you. Yes, visibility is the average daily views of your listing compared to the average daily views of all other listings. So like Brian said, 50% or more, well, 50% means your average daily views are smack bang in the middle. 50% of listings have more daily views, 50% have less. So yeah, it's not, we have some videos on this and everything, but the visibility score isn't something that you should strive to get a number for. How I see it more is, if you look at all your listings in your shop and you say, roughly, the listings in my shop average, say, about 60%. This one is at 95% and this one's at 24%. So that helps you pick out which ones are not performing. So the one at 90%, probably don't want to be thinking of touching that immediately. You want to look at the one that's significantly lower than his average for your shop and say, if I make changes to this, it's unlikely I'm going to hurt my shop. So this is the low-hanging fruit item. That's really all visibility is for. It's not saying you're being shown on Etsy. It's not saying this listing has good SEO. It's just saying this is the number of daily views you're getting, basically.
Exactly. So that's not something to really focus too much on. But if you do have listings that are getting a really low rating, they have 0% or 10%, those are ones that you want to look into and see why it's not working. See if some of the keywords can be changed or if your photos need to be upgraded. Usually when I'm in the mood to start refreshing some of my listings, I'll sort by visibility score to look at the ones that are not getting found or getting found the least, and start there, because those are the ones that need the most work.
Exactly. Yes. Rafaela asks, do you recommend any videos about the holiday season trends? Oof, good question. I not so much videos, but I will 100% say check out the Etsy's trends report for one very good reason. Etsy is in the power to make the trends happen. If they think that something's going to be trending, there's nothing dodgy in this. They are using their data and what they're seeing to say, this is what we think is going to be trending. But Etsy are the ones that can go on the Etsy homepage and promote certain things to say, oh, this, if we said that Black Christmas was going to be a thing, then on the homepage they could push Black Christmas and it would be a thing on Etsy because people would go, oh, what's that, and click on it. So Etsy has a lot of, like, trends is a skilled thing, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of money to figure out what the trends are going to be. But also Etsy has the power to make the trends. So I definitely follow them. Also on eRank, our lovely Jan does our trend reports. You can go through and have a look at what she's been saying, other have been trends and what we're seeing coming up and about. And I think I was just looking, I think Pinterest has just put out a holiday trends guide. So I'm
Yes.
going to dig into that this weekend. Yeah, their trends guides are fun because Pinterest is really good at knowing what the cores are. Like cottagecore came up through Pinterest, all this kind of thing. So they know the pretty trends, the cool overreaching trends, which are really cool.
And I'm guessing if you watch the Q&A lives every week, we're going to be talking, as we get closer to the holiday season, you're going to be finding more and more of those trends. We're going to be talking about the trend buzz, and just a lot of tools on eRank that help you find what's trending and jump right on it.
Absolutely. I think Starla's planning to do her holiday trends. I think that's going to be live on Friday. I think I might be lying. I'm definitely planning to look into them, but I ran out of time this week. But definitely, I'm going to be digging into them. I don't know if yes, I'll say I recommend me, absolutely. But all Starla, Brian, and myself's YouTube channels as well are in the bottom as well. But absolutely, here's a great place as well, because whenever it's quiet, we will be talking about the up and coming holidays because it's the big thing to be getting ready for.
Yep. It's coming into high season.
Scary season. Yes. So even if it's been quiet just now, hopefully things are going to get better. I don't like to predict too much because we don't know what this year is going to be like. And even if it's the best year ever for most of us, some people have a quiet time. It could be the worst year ever for most of us, and some people have a great time.
The Etsy CEO, when was it, 3 months ago or so, mentioned that Q3 is going to be a really slow quarter for a lot of stores, for a lot of shops, but Q4 is going to skyrocket. That's his prediction.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt, but he has the inside buzz. So
they were definitely saying, like, all the changes and the pushes they're planning to make, they were hoping they would compound to season 4 would be the good one. So yes, fingers crossed.
And it always is. Like, it just, in general, the holiday season is the biggest sales time of year.
Oh yeah, since I've been tracking, well, since Etsy's been giving numbers, Christmas, that last Q4 has always been by far the biggest. There's like a big sort of effect on the pretty graphs.
Yeah. Kelly says, is there a way to tell which keyword a customer used to find my item? So yes, there is. There's a couple ways that are still available. There used to be search analytics under marketing, and that was the best thing because it told you what people were searching for, if your listings were even shown in the search results, not just if they were clicked on, but if they were searched for, if they were in the search results, and then it broke it down per listing. That unfortunately went away as of a week ago. So there's two ways now. You can either use just the stats section, and when you scroll right down to the stats section, you'll see all your listings. Click on one of those listings, and you will then see the stats for that listing. It won't give you all of the information, but it'll tell you where people are coming from, different sites people are coming from to find your listings, and some of the search terms people are using. It's not going to give you all of it, but it gives you quite a bit. The better tool is Google Analytics. If you search in the eRank blog for Google Analytics, you'll find Anthony wrote out a whole thing, step-by-step guide with photos on how to link your Etsy shop to Google Analytics, and then the Google Analytics to eRank. And that'll tell you all the keywords that were used that people clicked on to get to your listings through most platforms. On eRank, that shows up as traffic stats. That's the tool, is traffic stats. And under that, you will see just a list of keywords. When you click on the down arrow, you will then see all the listings that were found for it. And if you click on those, it'll give you the individual metrics as well. That's definitely the best way to see which keywords were used.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point for anyone who hasn't connected up your Google Analytics to your Etsy shop. There's nothing dodgy about this. It's just a way you have to give Google Analytics permission to speak to your Etsy shop to get all this data. It's perfectly allowable, but until you connect up, they can't start gathering any of your data. So it's from the day you connect up, you'll start to see data. So if you do it just now, then you'll at least start to gather some of the data of your Christmas period. So I'd absolutely do it now. And especially because we've lost our search analytics on Etsy, which had such good data. Yes, moment of silence for the best tool that Etsy has. There is another place that's a little better, but it costs you money. If you're running Etsy ads, you can look into the individual listings there. You'll see the keywords. You don't get every level of data that you want there, but you do get to see if a certain keyword is driving a high number of sales. It will tell you that. So that is handy as well.
Yeah.
And that's the only place now that you can see. It's not just when you're saying a customer, that's the only place where you'll see if someone used that keyword and actually purchased an item. With the Etsy data, you'll only see they came to your listing through that keyword. And the same with Google Analytics. I have tried. Google Analytics cannot track. They typed in that, they went to your listing, and then they went to purchase from you. I know Google Analytics can do that data for your own website. It doesn't have permission to do that on Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy does not share that information with Google or with Facebook or with any other ad networks. They don't share the metrics of if the listing actually sold from a click.
Yep, which is a pain, but that's what we've got should be enough.
We have.
Yeah, it's the data that we'll have. Yeah, so your competitors don't have anything extra there.
Hi, Mandy.
So we've got Lona. Can you include a sale sign on your primary picture and not get dinged by Etsy? Etsy isn't reading your picture. Yeah, Etsy doesn't care. By dinged, it is possible that their social media staff might not pick up your listing to promote on social media. I don't think I've seen a post by them that has someone with a sale sign on their thing, but I don't follow Etsy social media that much because it's not very exciting.
And a lot of the time, Google ads and all of the offsite ads, they also scan for that kind of thing and won't show it either. So you might not show up for that listing in offsite ads. But otherwise, that's perfectly fine. And that's a great way to kind of grab shoppers' attention when they are in search, because it adds a little bit of something to grab their attention.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm not aware of anything you can put on your picture that gets you dinged by Etsy, because Etsy at the minute in time isn't really reading much in your picture.
Yeah.
you would get dinged. Well, you wouldn't get dinged by Etsy, but something like if you had huge copyright things all over your picture, the copyright holder might come and order it taken down. That's not Etsy dinging it.
Or if
If
you
you
have
have
mature terms or items or anything that aren't censored, Etsy will come in and step in when someone complains, because they're not actively looking. But if someone complains, those listings could be brought down and you could get a strike for that.
Yep. But yes, I don't think sales bad. So long as it is. Only thing, check with your country how long you're allowed to run a sale for. I'll say this to everybody. You probably couldn't have a listing that you're going to have on sale forever and just leave that picture up. So if you're running a 7-day sale, you could have a picture that you drop in to do that. Yeah, sure, why not? But probably not 365 days a year. But that's not legal advice. I don't know what the laws in your country are, but that's my gut feel there.
Most countries are, it has to be, you can only have something on sale for a month, and then it has to be off sale for a month. That's usually what the consumer protection laws say. Just type into Google consumer protection laws and then your country, and it'll come up with all the documents you need to know what types of sales you can run legally.
Yep.
Etsy won't stop you from running sales. Yep. Etsy doesn't monitor that. That's for you as the seller to determine.
Yep, which is fair because Etsy is all around the world, so it doesn't know what rules you have to be following. But yeah, it's really easy, especially with all the advice Etsy's going, we've got this sale, we've got that sale, we've got the other sale. Make sure you can actually follow that sale. I think the wording in the UK and many countries is your item has to be at full price for an appreciable amount of time before you put it on sale, which is sort of legally usually, yeah, but I think lawyers tend to define that to mean at least the amount of time that you're going to have on sale, but it is nicely vague so that they can come and shout at whoever they want. Yeah. But yeah. Michaela, I think I'm saying your name different every time, I'm sorry. Trying to understand how to work eRank. You're in the right place. What is it that you want to know about eRank? But I would say definitely this YouTube channel, really great place. You can find all sorts of tips. I would focus on a tool that you're interested in. Search and see if we've got any videos on that particular tool. We also have some videos. They're a little bit older, but with things like what to do if your sales are dropping, something like that. So check into them. Just be aware, some of our older videos, the advice is still relevant, but some of the screenshots might look a little different because I think the menu bar was along the top and now it's along the side. So you might have to look to find some tools. But in the description of this video, there should be a link to the Facebook account and Reddit if you're interested, if you do Reddit instead. Join one of those communities and then you can ask more specific questions there as well.
Also, when you're on eRank, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the little feedback icon. When you click on that, in there's actually a getting started first steps, and that'll guide you through kind of how to use eRank, what tools are relevant, and kind of guide you through the process if you're just getting started.
Absolutely. I keep forgetting about that one. Yep. Oh, here we go, Jessica. Good point. This year, Thanksgiving is the latest it can be, so there's only a few weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
For some.
It's going yes, you guys have a different Thanksgiving. In Scotland, we're not thankful for anything. We don't have Thanksgiving, but yes, Canada's earlier. Yes, I forget that.
We're in September, October, something in that area.
Yeah, I think your Thanksgiving is more like it's not
harvest.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really something that's celebrated so much in the UK. When we were at school, you used to have to go to a harvest festival and take some like produce, but I've not heard it mentioned in decades.
Yeah, it seems like it's on November 28th this year, which means Black Friday is November 29th.
Yeah, so that is going to be crazy. Yeah. So yeah, here's your warning to watch out, because people do hold back for Black Friday and they definitely don't seem to buy so much on Thanksgiving because they're eating lots of food, and then it
And
can
if
go
you
a
do
bit
get
crazy.
that surge, make sure you have enough time to get stuff out for Christmas, because not only for many people that have to actually make their products and then ship their products, the mail system is also usually overloaded and a week slower than it should be. So make sure that you have your deadline set, but also that you don't oversell, because that's never a good thing. And been there, done that. Don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't leave it to the last minute. Especially if you've had a difficult year, it is so difficult if you are really wanting those extra sales. And if you could keep your shop open, then you could get the extra sales. But be aware that this is the reason I shut my shop through most of December, is I would get people who would buy something on like the 20th of December, and I'd message and say, of course, there's no way you're going to get this till into the new year. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Every year, without fail, Christmas Day, people would message me and ask when they could expect their item. I don't know. I am sitting with my mum drinking champagne just now. So, yeah, sometimes it's best just to take the hit. And actually, for a little while that did work, that people would start coming to my shop sooner and sooner each year, because they're like, I tried to come to you, but you were shut. It's like, yeah, sorry about that.
And that's also why Etsy this year rolled out, along with gift mode, they now have the, I think it's called gift note, where the buyer can receive, where the receiver of the gift can actually receive something through their email, so that they know what's coming, and that way, if it doesn't arrive in time for the birthday or for the holiday, then they still have like this is what's coming for you. So make sure that you have that feature enabled as well. It's under settings options. You'll see gift note.
Yeah. It could be something for like your social media and stuff to kind of promote this, and just say, hey, look, did you know on Etsy? I think they can even create a little video to say, hey, so and so, happy birthday or Merry Christmas. I've got this really cool thing coming for you. And they get that message sent to them. So
Yeah.
it definitely helps. I mean, some years when I was having trouble with that, I just made a little PDF that people could actually have something to print out and give to their friend if things were going to be late. Because, yeah, I think since 2020, mail has got a lot less reliable than it used to be.
Yeah.
That last shipping date before Christmas it's a lie. There's no way.
And that's why Etsy did enable this feature, gift teaser. There you go. It's called the
Yeah.
gift teaser. And Etsy enabled this feature for that reason, because they know that people tend to order last minute sometimes and blame the seller instead of taking the blame themselves. So this is one way to kind of push that onto the seller, or to the buyer, and the receiver knows what's coming.
Absolutely. Yep. Oh, here, hopefully we're already answering this. Rafaela, I'm getting my listings ready for Christmas. Please, could you talk a bit about the holiday season? This is my first Q4.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're in for a treat.
He's mean. Q4 can be anything. It's likely to be better depending on what you sell. But in general, for most people, Q4 will probably be better than the whole of the last year. Q1 to 3, or round about there. But it depends. If your shop's really quiet, it might get a bit busier, but you're unlikely to get, the 10,000 sales in a day kind of thing. So you'll get more of what you're getting. You'll get seen more of where you're getting seen. If you start getting some good sales and getting some good reviews, then you really can build up a bit of momentum, and that momentum can actually carry on January, February to next year, just because your shop's had a boost from the number of sales it's got.
And January is sometimes really good because gift cards are given for Christmas.
Exactly.
And so people are spending those gift cards through the end of the year and into the beginning of next year.
Yep. But for everyone, there's things you can do but don't spend too much money, especially if your shop isn't profitable yet. But look into just now, get your packing material in, because that can run out. Get that ordered, get stocked up. Anything that you can make in advance, I would have a little stock of it. Don't spend money like if you're making solid gold giant headpieces or something. Don't make too many of them. But what I've been doing, just happen to have one here, but my little bookmarks that are my bestseller, all through the year, whenever I make one sale, I create 2 of them. So I've got an extra one put aside without much extra effort. And as we said, like, pace yourself as well. If you're creating your own things, or, things take time to make, just say to yourself, this is how many I'm going to sell. This is the maximum I'm going to sell. And I'm going to stop when I get to this point, because many of us have probably done the 20-hour days for the month of November or something. It's not good, and it's not sustainable, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. And make sure that you are stocked up on supplies that you will need. You might think, oh, I can always get boxes, I could always get bubble wrap. Sometimes you can't. Those types of things from your supplier, from Amazon, they just run out. A lot of times Amazon, you'll start seeing the prices of bubble wrap creep up. And so if you're trying to buy bubble wrap in December because you ran out, it's not you'll pay 3-4 times the price probably. So just be prepared with any supplies that you might need, because expect that you will run out. And if you don't run out, and you did oversupply, that's not a bad thing, because now you're actually covered for the rest of the year. For the rest of the next year. I guess that year's already done.
Yeah, exactly. I remember one year I couldn't get bubble wrap. The only thing I could get seemed very expensive. And when it came to the door, it was a roll of bubble wrap 7 foot high. It did me for a very long time. It's like, right, I'm not just buying in bulk there. The dogs loved it. Like, please stop popping all my supplies there.
Well, I do 3D printing, and one of my main colors is black. And I thought I was prepared. I was not prepared. And you would think that black is one of the easiest colors to get, because throughout the year, it's one of the easiest colors to get from any supplier. You can get so many different brands. Could not get black. I don't know why. Everyone was sold out. And it was... we were driving around the city. We were calling places just to get a little bit more supply until my main supplier was able to get us some. And it's something that I was not expecting, but that's what holiday season is like. It's a lot of the unexpected. And one thing to note as well, I assume that you are likely in the US. That's just a guess, because most people are. Canada Post right now is talking about a strike during the holiday season. So that's something to also think about, is will I be able to ship? And now is a good time to look at other options like Stallion Express, Chit Chats, Sendle, whatever else there is, UPS and FedEx, and any other service that you can come up with. Check the pricing now. While things are slower, now's the best time to check the pricing, because when things hit the wall, you want to kind of have a backup plan in place already. So that's just something to watch out for, is a possible Canada Post strike, and just the fact that Royal Mail and USPS usually come to a grinding halt. So sometimes you might need to come up with an ulterior plan for those main mail services as well.
Yep. And it's really good not just to have a plan and know your post office and know where you're shipping. Have a plan for what you're going to do for each stage of things going wrong. Be aware of things like the Etsy Purchase Protection Program and how, if that works for you or not. That is where Etsy guarantees the customer that it arrives on time or their money back. That really starts to hurt around Christmas time. So make sure, if you possibly can, that your items fit into that. Hopefully Etsy will give us. Last Christmas, they upped the limit for how big an order could be.
From 250 to 500. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll do that again. But currently, if your order's over $250 value, Etsy will refund the customer but they won't cover it. You'll cover it. So
Yeah.
I've actually removed some of my listings that were that higher value because I can't be bothered taking that kind of a hit. But also, you can have some saved replies for just some basic things to say to the customer. I generally say something along the lines of, oh, yeah, I see I shipped your item on this day. It usually takes this amount of time to get to you, but because of the post, can you leave it a week? Get back to me, let me know what's happening. If you give them that kind of sort of, yes, I understand, I feel bad about it, here's an action of you get back to me in a week and I will make everything right kind of thing.
Yeah.
And generally things turn up in that time.
Exactly. Now's the time to look at all of the things. If you do ship internationally, look how long it normally takes, and then add a week or two so that you know when your cutoff is. Last year, our cutoff for my shop, our cutoff for international was actually 3 days before Black Friday. So they couldn't participate in any Black Friday deals for our shop. We didn't have any, but they couldn't participate in the Black Friday shopping and have it guaranteed to arrive by the holiday. So look at what your timing is if you do sell internationally, just to make sure that you can get it to different locations on time. Because some places will take no time at all. Other places, it might take weeks and weeks already when things are normal. So just be prepared for all of those little things.
Yeah, I'd also check with people who actually do ship, check in a local Etsy community in your area or something, because I know the past few years, Royal Mail has said something like shipping to America for Christmas. I think it was something ridiculous like the 18th to the 20th of December was the last day to ship. No,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not a hope. Are you going to get there in time?
You have to ship by November 1st to get into the US.
Yeah, so that they can be a little bit hopeful.
They're very optimistic.
That's it, yes. But then the problem is that Etsy takes that. I mean, can't blame Etsy, but Etsy looks and goes, oh, Royal Mail say it'll get there in a week. I'll tell your customer that's when it will get there. And then Etsy starts going, how was your parcel? What did you think of that shop? And the customer's like, well, I haven't got it yet, so this must be a scam. And yeah, it's all a pain.
So expect the unexpected.
Yeah, Woodcrafter's trying to get my Shopify site up and running for Q4, but I'm quickly running out of time. I know that feeling. Yes, I had lots of plans for Christmas, and now we're almost there, it seems.
What you can do, I also have a Shopify site and absolutely love it. And this will answer, we had a question on the web asking, will Etsy allow apps for reviews to transfer to Shopify? And this will be pretty much the same answer. When it comes to Shopify, start at the basics. Don't try and get some crazy looking theme and do all these really cool things. Start basic, and then you can always change things as they go. It's better to get something on the ground. It's better to get just the least amount possible to have a site going, and then build on top of that. There's one tool that I use constantly called Shuttle. It's the website is shuttleapp.io. And also, if you look in the Shopify store, just look for Shuttle and you'll find it. And what Shuttle allows you to do is sync your Etsy and your Shopify store. So with a single click, you can move all your listings from Etsy to Shopify. You can move all your orders, all your reviews, and that's what Linda online was asking, is it allows you to move your reviews over. You can move everything over. So you now have all of your products in place. All you have to do is set up all your shipping profiles, your tax profiles, and essentially your website is good to go. You could basically have a full Shopify web store ready to go in a day. From I just purchased Shopify to you are completely live, because all you have to do is fill in some information and like all your tax and shipping information, and choose just the basic theme, and you're good to go. It's Shuttle, Shuttle. That's the That's the extension that I use on Shopify to sync everything together, and it's absolutely amazing. If you go to the Facebook group now, I posted a link under the video. Under the Linda's question, you'll find the link to Shuttle, and it's an amazing thing that lets you get your website up and running very, very quickly. You don't have to recreate all your listings, because that's the main thing. That's what takes forever. If you have 100 listings and it takes you 5-10 minutes to create a listing on Shopify, it's a pain. So if you could just move everything over with a single click and everything's active, and it's the same pricing, it's the same everything, and then you can edit it later on to change anything. And it works the other way, where if you want to adjust your pricing, you could change your pricing in Shopify because there's some bulk tools, and then just hit sync the other way, and it'll move all those listings, all the changes and everything over to Etsy. Great tool.
Cool.
Shuttle. Like a
cool,
space
and
shuttle.
thank you. I had totally forgot about the Facebook questions because we'd spoke about this before coming on air, so I thought we'd spoke about it. But for anyone, if we get distracted and don't make it through everyone's questions, there is always a thread in the Facebook group on a Wednesday where you can post your questions in advance, and if I don't forget what we've been talking about on air and off air, then we'll always get to them. So we've got Melissa letting us know that she sells on the Facebook marketplace, and it's okay, not my favorite. Fair enough.
I've heard that there's a lot of people that just don't follow through, both sellers and buyers, and it can be a lot of headache, but it can also be a great thing. Especially, it was great during the pandemic when you couldn't do in-person markets. Facebook Marketplace basically became a giant market, and now it's kind of settled down a little bit, but it's still it can be a great place, but you just have to be very careful.
Yep. We got how to get upcoming trends on eRank. Well, we don't forecast, we don't predict into the future really, but there are ways you can estimate what's going on. But I've got some really good news for you. In the next few weeks, we are going to be featuring our trend tools. The next up and coming webinar, which I can't remember the date for, will be on trends. And I think Jessica and Patrick might have some videos coming up on the YouTube channel as well. So we've got that. I know, exciting. Let's see if I can pull up a screen and we can have a look at this. Let's just check I don't have anything dodgy on my computer. I don't, but it's always that fear. So from eRank, there's a few things you can look at. Obviously, like the keywords, where am I looking for? Your superstar keywords, the words that you think in your niche that are important to you, you can just follow them and have a look on your dashboard and see what's picking up. Or something like, okay, corgi is a keyword I follow. When I look at this, hang on, November, December, January, February last year, that was doing really well. Is it likely to do it again? So I can predict and say, quite possibly. So that gives you some ideas. But we have our trend tools over here, the trend buzz or the monthly trends. So we'll pop into the monthly trends. And
I'm on
these
things constantly. They're absolutely amazing.
Exactly. It's a thing I wouldn't recommend for most people to actually spend ages on. I do great because lovely Jan writes our trend reports and I talk to her about them and stuff, and that's enough for me just to look and go, oh, what's been trending in the last month, and then just get that every month. So you just get a wee look at things that are trending. Of course, there's going to be things that we can't jump on as sellers, but it's good to know what people are into. But you get some ideas of what's hot right now. You can also pick your different categories to see what the top searches were in your category. But if you're wanting to predict the future, you can look at the past. And once you've got an idea of all these and what people are talking about just now, you can go back and say, okay, well, what were people searching for in November last year? Because they are likely to be good keywords. Gift for her, gift for him. Think we could have guessed this. Personalized gift is an interesting one because that's something that Etsy was really pushing itself. I think this year they're going to be pushing a lot more of the gift mode stuff because that's what they've launched and it's important. So,
But
it
also,
might.
what's good to notice about that is it's personalized gift, not custom gift. Personalized
Mhm.
last year was just a hot term.
Yep, that's true. So we look at. It's interesting to see the trends of things like, oh, people are buying necklaces at that time of year. So it gives you some ideas. And then what you can do is you can always dig deep into it. Okay, rings were hot then, and this little flame means they're hot. They've been hot in the past week. If we click on that, that takes you into our keyword tool, and then we can dive deep and see actually what is trending in rings. My computer. This will hopefully be the last week where my computer's really slow because I should be getting my internet upgraded. So this takes us to the keyword tool, and you can see the graph and all the other lovely data. We haven't got the keyword ideas yet. It's just digging this up from Etsy. Here we go. So what you can do, if you click the search trend column here, this is like ranking everything by the highest number of searches last month. So we can see what's been really kicking off. And there might be some sort of fun ones that have a low competition, that no one's noticed yet. So we'll scan down. Rings is a very big category, so it's probably a bad choice, but good grief. Sorry, it's got lower competition at 58,000, but hydrangea, how that relates to a ring, I have no idea, but people are weird. But here's one popping up. So this has had some search volume last year. Suddenly it's got some search volume just now. It's got very, very little competition and people are searching for it. Toe rings. Is that so? So this is a potential future trend that's popped up out of nowhere. And that's basically what I do, just looking for things that pop up. Signet ring. That's an interesting thing to be trending. And 7th anniversary gift. So you get some ideas of what's popping up right now. And I forgot.
Learn from the past.
Exactly. And that's the best way. But also, as we said, Etsy's brought out its holiday trend reports. That's really important to follow. I definitely check out the Pinterest one. Starla I'm pretty sure is doing a live about this, and she's really good about these. And just keep an eye out and an ear out. Another daft but simple one: when you're walking around your local shops, what things are they putting up? Because they get a heads up on the trends, basically, so they know what to stock their shelves with.
Yeah, and a good tool to use for that is email marketing. And that's not you sending out mail. That's follow the stores of things that you sell. If you sell jewelry, you should be following jewelry stores. You should be subscribed to their email list. If you sell home decor, sign up to home decor email lists and see what they're sending out, because that'll give you an idea of what's trending. You'll notice trends across different companies, and that is the coming trend. Essentially, these big box stores, that's who creates the trend. Target is a huge one with the colors and everything. They create the trends essentially, and everybody else follows suit. So sometimes following the large box stores email list is a great way to find out what's to come.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Amanda's a naughty lady. She's been denied shops on TikTok, Facebook, and Pinterest. Different marketplaces have different rules for what they're looking for. And Melissa, fantastic. I might just tell Anthony to go and talk to you because you sell on Etsy, Amazon Handmade, Go Imagine, Facebook Marketplace, TikTok, and Pinterest. I'm tired just reading that out. Yeah, well done. Okay, Lindsay, what's happened to the Etsy algorithm? I've had items that sold consistently over the years, now dropped off a cliff. Do I need a new strategy? I'll start before passing this off to Brian, because he's much better for these kind of big trends. But it's almost never really the Etsy algorithm. This is a thing. Now, yes, does the Etsy algorithm changed? It has to, constantly changes. But we have to remember what's the point of the Etsy algorithm. It's not to show your listing, it's to show the listing that the customer is most likely to buy. So what's more likely that happens is customers change, trends change, what people are looking for changes, and competition comes in that's different to change. So do you need a new strategy? Possibly. What I tend to do, rather than panic about the one I said this bookmark that I've got here, that's my top seller. For a couple of years, I had a different top seller. I don't have any of them. Had a different top seller a couple of years before that, and I am already, while this bookmarks my top seller, I've already started testing out new products for something else to be a top seller next year. You can't rely on your top seller. But Brian, that way, has much more bigger popular shops than me, and I'm sure he deals with things coming in and out of fashion all the time.
Essentially, the algorithm, it makes it doesn't actually change. It modifies how it shows things. It modifies the personalization routines. It modifies different things, but essentially the Etsy algorithm is the same as it was 10 years ago, with just tweaks to it. What does change is buyer habits and seller habits. Buyer habits, people aren't always into the same thing. Sometimes they have it, sometimes trends change, and so some things that were popular are no longer popular. That type of thing happens all the time. We've also, especially in the last 4 years, we've seen that major surge of buyers, but also of sellers, where we jumped from 2.5 million sellers on Etsy all the way up to 9 million sellers. That's a lot more products for buyers to sort through, but also of competition. And so there's just that much more competition, which makes it harder to be found in search. So you always do need a new strategy. The same way that that trends change and habits change, you need to change as well as a shop. You should be always growing, always working on photography, always working on things that make you stand out more. Looking up the latest trends, the latest colors, the latest everything. Even if your product itself doesn't change, just making the background of your photo have the current trending color. Doing searches for your products is a great way to find out if you should change your strategy. If you pull up search results and your listing is there, but it looks like everybody else's, then you're not standing out. So you need to do more to stand out. Just because there are that many more products and that many more sellers trying to push their products, you need to kind of be evolving constantly as well.
Yeah, pretty much. We can never rest on our laurels because trends change. We always have to be keeping one step ahead. And I know it's a pain. It's so exciting when you find a product and that's it. That's the one that's doing great for you. It's not going to stay. As soon as you get a product trending in terms of compared to all your other items, be looking to how to replicate that, how to do something similar but different but better. No.
There's probably warehouses right now full of fidget spinners because those things blew up and they were huge. But where do you find fidget spinners? Like, they're just not, it's not a trend anymore. Nobody cares anymore. You might be able to find them at the convenience store, but they've kind of just fallen off, even though when people were selling them, they were the hottest thing ever. So trends do constantly change. Even things that don't seem like they would change, they do.
And I bet fidget spinners came about partly because skateboards were selling less. Because fidget spinners are made from the bearings of skateboards. Yeah. That's how trends happen.
There's always weird trends that happen.
Yep. Priscilla, how can I use eRank to find the trendy digital products to sell on Etsy? Exactly the same way as we just showed you a couple of minutes ago. It doesn't matter what your niche, it's pretty much the same. Look at the trends, look at what people are searching for. You don't even have to be you can dig into. We have digital categories and everything in the trend reports, but you don't even have to. If you're looking and you see that capybaras are the big animal just now, can you do digital capybara pictures? If coffee's trending, can you do coffee posters? Which currently is, well, just now dorms trending. Unfortunately, that's for people going back to college and everything just now. So you can say this time, in 11 months' time or in 10 months' time, can I make stuff for kids wanting to decorate their very first dorm room? That's use the trends to learn without just specifically having to say, oh, how do I find out what's trendy digital? No, you find out what people are wanting to buy, and then can you make that?
And you adapt your product to whatever that trend is.
Yep. Amanda, any word about what Etsy's replacing the analytics with? I am looking every day. I am searching. Everybody on this stream that knows what we're talking about, message Etsy and just ask them what's coming, because they did say this is going away, but don't worry, we've got exciting things. Like excite me, Etsy. Come on, let's get on with it.
Etsy kills tools constantly, and they're constantly building new features and all that type of thing. This is the only one, since I've been on Etsy for 5.5 years, this is the only one that actually hurt. This is the only one that there is no replacement for. When they changed a listing editor, when they change this, when they change that, there's always ways around it to do what you normally do. With this, there isn't, and it's very upsetting, and it's...
Oh, I'm trying to remember the timing, because there's one that's happened that was bigger and more hurtful for me, when they took away our ability to change our ads, the cost per click, and
from promoted listings to Etsy ads, so you couldn't set your cost per click anymore.
Yep. Yeah, that's why when they said, "Oh, we're replacing it with something great," and I'm sitting going, "You said that with ads."
Didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm. I'm still salty about that one. I hold a grudge. Hannah, am I meant to make sure all my keywords on Etsy are green? High search, low competition. In a word, no. In a longer
you have 13
word,
tags to work with, and each tag can have multiple keywords. So you don't. So you will have a mix of high search, low competition, as well as low search, high competition, and everything in between. The words that are the most relevant for your product are the best keywords to go with. But you have 130 characters in your title, and you have a lot of words in your tags available. So don't focus too much on how you think they're going to perform, because sometimes those high search, low competition keywords don't do anything for you. And sometimes the low search, high competition ones are what you're getting most of your traffic from. You never know what's going to happen. So you kind of want to have a mix of everything, and then see what's working, see what's not working, and adapt from there. That's the O in optimization, in SEO.
Exactly. It's a science experiment. Yes. Yeah. You're not finding what I just showed as a quick look down. That's just a sort of, it's not even a keyword research. It's an ideas research, going down, scrolling through and looking for that. Oh, look, people are searching for this thing just now. That might be worth experimenting with. But if I was to make, what did we come up with? Toe rings. If I was to make toe rings, there would be a whole lot more going into that. They would probably be silver rings with, I know nothing about toe rings. I'm going to see, I talk a lot about like rings, because opal rings came up at one time, and I've mentioned opal rings for years. And each time Jan dies a little inside, because she tells me you shouldn't put opals into rings. I didn't know that. But it's to give you ideas. But once you've got, you think, okay, I'm going to make toe rings, or I'm going to make digital dorm posters or something, then you're thinking, what kind of dorm posters, what kind of rings? Is it going to be coffee bean? Is it going to be a capybara? And your keywords are going to be a mixture of everything, and you don't know what's going to work until it works. It's like that kind of research is your starter. and then you've got 13 tags to throw spaghetti at the wall.
Exactly.
Oh, Michaela just got eRank today. Opened your shop 5 months ago. Okay, right. If you're brand new, one thing, right, Jessica's going to hate me, but because our Reddit is so new, every Sunday, Jessica posts a place where you can put in your shop for a critique. Some of the team will come in there and help you give a critique of your shop. So if you want to, there's a link in the bottom. It's eRankCommunity on Reddit. I think that's right. If you want to sign up there, then on Sunday you can post a shop or a listing, ask a question, and then there'll be some people in to help you. To help for everybody. Printable occasion, you can view eRank the tags and titles of your competitor and use them as well. Yes, but in eRank you can see the tags and titles of your competitor, but you have to bear in mind how the Etsy algorithm works, in that if your competitor's doing really, really well, like I could sit down and copy Brian's bestseller right now.
Which I actually had someone do. They literally copied the entire tag list of 13 tags, including my shop name, which doesn't help them at all. But because I'm already ranking really high for those, and it's a new listing for them, so it doesn't have a rank yet, they just are not gaining any traction and can't be found in search. So just using somebody else's keywords doesn't necessarily do anything at all for you. It can, like, it's great to grab ideas, like you might find words that you didn't think of that are relevant to your product that you can kind of mix into your keywords, your tags, your titles, but just copying someone else's is not going to help much at all.
Exactly. It's great for ideas. Like you can find, they might have a couple of keywords that maybe they're not as optimized for, maybe it's not quite as relevant for their listing, but you look and you go, hang on, that one's got a load of people are searching for it just now. If I made something just now, that might be a really cool thing. So yes, it's very good to look into this, but don't try and copy anyone. You're not going to be able to catch your competition by copying them, I'm afraid. Not going to mention Jason Momoa apart from that, but it's like, if I wanted to beat Brian as a shop, I can't beat him at his own game. I would, as a little shop, I have to sort of follow behind, picking up crumbs of the things that he's discarded that weren't working for him because they're too little. And then as I start to build up a bit of momentum, I have to lead. If I want to beat someone, I have to lead. I have to innovate rather than try and copy. Because Brian didn't get to where he was by copying other people. He elbowed his way into his own niche and got there that way.
Sure did.
Wicked Sick 3D, how would you refresh or make stand out a listing or item that gets good sales but competes heavily against other shops? It's making good sales. Don't touch it. Do something else and come back to that later. It's like,
and if there is anything, like especially in your images, that's a great way to stand out. But also your social media is where you can really stand out and really push that product. And just make people, when they're searching on Instagram or they're searching on TikTok for that kind of product, yours is the one that comes up because you've started hitting social media where your competition might not be.
Yeah. Right. Okay. It seems we got a whole load of questions and we've run really late. So I'm going to say sorry to anyone that we missed, which seems to be quite a lot. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next half hour or whatever. I'm going to copy all these questions and I'm going to make a big thread in the eRank group, and I'm going to post your question and respond to it. And so if you look in the eRank group within the next hour, you're going to see answers to a lot of the questions which we did not have a chance to get to.
Awesome. Great. That's a really great idea, Brian. Thanks. And I will say, if if we make, because sometimes we struggle with questions, and most of the time you guys come in at the end with 100 questions. So make sure and check in the Facebook group on a Wednesday for our thread asking for questions in advance if you got something really important that you wanted answered or that we might have to research, because we know a lot of stuff, but we don't know everything. So you can ask us in advance there. But guys, thank you all so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
It wasn't easy.